Coming up on Mountain News at 6, a push for change in Kentucky. The details of a new proposal that would limit gun ownership for those in crisis. And one eastern Kentucky city is reimbursed more than $1 million by FEMA due to damage caused by the July 2022 flood.
Plus, the forecast could be a little bit wintry by Monday. Those details coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A proposal to remove guns from people in certain high-risk or crisis situations was heard in a state legislative committee today. The CAR Act is similar to many red flag laws that allow for the confiscation or temporary removal of firearms if a person is in a crisis mode. WYMT's Phil Pendleton heard the debate on both sides of the issue.
2 overflow rooms.
So they packed several rooms for one discussion Friday morning. People flocked to Frankfort to hear about a proposal to keep guns away from people in crisis situations.
On that day, I faced something that I can only describe as hell on earth.
Whitney Austin told lawmakers of surviving 12 gunshots while being trapped in a revolving door at a Cincinnati bank. She supports the CAR Act, which backers say protects the Second Amendment while temporarily transferring guns away from those determined to be at risk.
So in researching mass shooters over the last 3 decades, we know that about 80% of the time they signal their intentions.
Guys, we are talking about a mental health crisis.
Karen Berg shared today was the anniversary of her son taking his own life.
And if we can do one thing in this state to prevent one parent from having to go through that, it is worth it.
The debate drew a lot of opinions on both sides of the political aisle. Republican Whitney Westerfield supports the CAR Act, but others in the GOP have a lot of questions.
I'm trying to figure out how you're supposed to stop someone from hurting themselves or others in real time.
To me, our common ground is the Constitution. We've all sworn an oath to uphold it.
Representative Westerfield says he plans to file the CAR Act for next year's session. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Supporters say they realize there is still a lot of opposition to the bill, but says 18 other states, including some red ones, have passed it. 2 people are dead after a crash in Breathitt County yesterday. KSB received a call a little before 6 o'clock last night about the 2-vehicle crash on Kentucky 15 in the Watts community. Police say 27-year-old Austin Gibson of Georgetown was heading north when he crossed the center line and hit a truck driven by 78-year-old Robert Begley of Jackson. Gibson was pronounced dead by the Breathitt County Coroner's Office, while Begley died later at the Jackson Hospital from his injuries. In Wayne County, a man is behind bars after police say he was stalking a woman. The woman told the sheriff's office the man was following her on a walk. The man followed her after she changed direction several times. After a warrant was obtained by the woman, deputies picked up 39-year-old Wesley Bell of Monticello on Elm Street. Bell was charged with stalking and having a prescription not in the proper container. He was taken to the Wayne County Detention Center. Police in Powell County are asking for help finding a theft suspect. Take a look at your screen. Officials with the Stanton Police Department say this man stole a large amount of merchandise. If you have any information, you're asked to contact Powell County Dispatch at 606-663-4116 or message the police department on Facebook. Officials with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office are also asking for help finding a theft suspect. Here's that picture. Police say she is wanted in connection with several cash thefts while using the identity of another person. If you have any information about this case, you're asked to contact the Sheriff's Office at 606-864-6600.
That dry weather continues across the mountains to close out the work week. Here's a live look from I-64 over in Rowan County. Check out that awesome sunset back in the distance. Again, we have a few clouds overhead, but overall we are dry, also calm as we go into this evening. That current temperature 52 degrees over in Rowan County. Most of us in the upper 40s and a few lower 50s as well, up to 52 for Jackson, 51 for Clintwood, and 49 over in Manchester. So once again, we are not too bad as we go into this evening. Up on the radar, we are drive, as high pressure is the name of the game as we close out the work week. But notice as we look back to the west, we are watching out for our next rainmaker, this area of low pressure over Kansas, also Oklahoma. That will continue pushing off to the east. So more moisture, also more showers on the way as we go into mainly on Sunday. Showers do increase by late tomorrow and more showers on the way by Sunday. And maybe as some cooler air filters in by Monday, we could possibly see maybe a few areas of wintry mix to start the next work week. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you very much. This just in the last hour or so, there's been a change at one local college system. Hazard Community and Technical College President Dr. Jennifer Linden will serve as the acting president at Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College. Southeast President Dr. Vic Adams is now on administrative leave. Adams was in his 25th year at the college. Now, Dr. Linden will continue to serve in her role in Hazard as well. We have a statement from Dr. Linden about this on our website. Earlier today, folks remembered former Kentucky Governor Julian Carroll. The former governor lied in state at the state capitol rotunda. Many came out to remember Carroll and the work he did for the Commonwealth. Former Governor Carroll first served in the Kentucky House of Representatives for 5 terms, including one as Speaker of the House from 1968 to 1970.
His long-term commitment to public service at nearly every level of government and willing to enter a different level just to make a difference, even with everything he had accomplished, shows both commitment and a special humility.
Carroll died on Sunday. He was 92 years old. The city of Hazard will be reimbursed with nearly $2 million from FEMA and disaster recovery funds. WYMT's RJ Johnson spoke with City Manager Tony Eversole today about how this will help.
During the July 2022 flood, the Black Gold Circle drainage system was heavily damaged.
We were just trying to fix an explosion that happened underground that caused the light poles to fall, that shut the road down and blew the asphalt up. And then at that time, you know, we realized that it had washed and caused a bunch of the drains and stuff to collapse.
City Manager Tony Eversole says it could not hold up with the substantial amounts of water.
There was drains and stuff put in. Just the amount of water that come off of that hill and went through there just caused a lot of damage.
Saying they had to be fixed to ensure businesses in the area could operate.
We had to go in and do what we did on Black Gold just so First Trust Bank would continue to be able to be there, Wendy's, Taco Bell, all those businesses there, because it was washing out from underneath of them.
Eversole says the $1.8 million reimbursement will help them. However, they still have a long way to go.
We're getting $1.8 million back. There's still a part that we're going to have to come up with, and we've already had to borrow that and make payments. So it's not like we're going to be $1.8 million ahead. We're definitely still behind. We'll use that money to pay off some of the money that we had to borrow in order to do the repairs that we did, citywide and countywide. You know, it's mostly our water and utilities that runs throughout the county. We're still suffering from that and still trying to do repairs.
While they will not receive the money right away, Eversole says they are excited about progress being made. In Hazard, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Eversole says there are still projects going on throughout the county to get back on track. The USDA office has announced more than $400,000 in grants going toward organizations in rural parts of Kentucky. 5 of the 10 organizations receiving funding are in eastern Kentucky. The city of Jackson will receive a grant worth $50,000 to replace 2 law enforcement vehicles. Wolfe County Search and Rescue will use a grant worth $50,000 for search and rescue operations. We have much more about this on WYMT.com. An Eastern Kentucky Sheriff's Department was rewarded with a grant worth more than $1,500. The Perry County Sheriff's Office was given the local community grant from the Hazard Walmart. The grant was worth $1,600. Sheriff Joe Engel says the money was used to purchase computers and equipment for their patrol division. This in turn will allow deputies to work more efficiently in the field by establishing internet from their cruisers. 'Tis the season for Shop with a Trooper, and the gray just keeps giving. WYMT's Buddy Forbes joined Kentucky State Police in Pike County today as they shared a seasonal shopping spree with some area kids.
All right, let's go.
From the carts to the checkout. Troopers from Kentucky State Police Post 9 spent Friday getting festive.
I got to meet Santa and the Grinch.
The annual Shop with a Trooper event filled Pikeville Walmart with excited students from 5 counties.
Yo, look at this circle.
Yo! You spend all day with them, but you can't get enough time because they're all laughing, having a good time, and it's a really great event that we all look forward to each year.
Look what I found.
Each trailed by a trooper.
I've been happy.
Scouring the shelves for the perfect presents.
She got a lot of stitches.
From Legos to lipstick, everyone had a different highlight of the day.
Getting makeup.
Some leaving with new friends.
I named her Annabelle.
Others leaving with a renewed appreciation for what it all means.
Something about going down the toy aisle and I'm pushing the buggy and the kids just slinging toys over their head and I'm trying to catch them and trying to throw them in there and make sure they all get in the buggy. Just that excitement of going down that aisle is probably the most favorite part of my day.
Troopers say the true gift is not the thousands of dollars in toys and clothes that make it to the register.
Times are tough, especially during the holidays. Money may be a little tight, but to know that these kids are going to have at least the gifts that they get today for Christmas, it's a good feeling.
But the small smiles and massive memories made from aisle to aisle.
Thank you for everything you guys done for us. And did for me, my sister today, and everyone else.
All to ensure every child has a
Merry Christmas.
In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Trooper Coleman says the event is only possible because of the community support and partners who helped during fundraising efforts, and he is blessed to see the program continue year after year. As KSB Post 9 held its annual Shop with a Trooper event today, one Whitley County Police Department held its Shop with a Cop event yesterday. The Williamsburg Police Department took kids shopping at the Williamsburg Walmart. The department says they had nearly 180 participants. Events like this going on all across the region.
Well, after a dry stretch of weather for much of this week, we are tracking some moisture by Sunday. Those details coming up. Plus,
staff with primary care centers of Eastern Kentucky buy gifts for students in schools near their locations.